Hey friends, welcome to Shakespeare with Sarah, where I break down Shakespeare for actors. If you are working towards a drama school audition or just a general audition, this is the place to be. We are talking Shakespeare. Please subscribe, come and join us. Today I'm talking about Beatrice's "What Fire is in Mine Ears? Can this be true?" which is a very popular monologue, which actually I think is a good monologue if you are new to Shakespeare, and it's a pretty good monologue for drama school auditions because it's very short. So this will hopefully be a very quick video. In this video, I'm going to talk very briefly about the context, but mostly I'm going to break down the verse for you and talk about some of the points in it that you really need to bring out as an actor so it doesn't become a bit of a wash of, oh my god, what is happening? Right, so Beatrice has just heard Ursula and Hero talking for ages about how proud she is and la 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 la. And to be fair, I think Beatrice's response is pretty, like, they made their mark. She really listened to it because she doesn't reject any of what they're saying. She's just like, oh god, is this real? Everything they said. So they're saying stuff like, "But nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on. And her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak." So basically they're saying like, oh, you know, she doesn't even think of anybody else's jokes are any good. She just spends time thinking about herself and how great she is and blah blah blah. She looks down on everyone. It's pretty rough, especially because like Hero's supposed to be like they're supposed to be her friends, so it's kind of horrible in a way. But you know, they're doing it for a reason, and maybe she does need to listen to a few things. So if you're preparing this monologue, I would highly recommend see if you can actually get a couple of pals to play that scene with you listening, or play the other parts and see how it affects you. So if you, for example, if you're wanting to play Beatrice for an audition, play Hero in this scene, use that as your scene work and see what you notice in the text. What are the things that you think Beatrice would be reacting to? So let's jump into the breakdown. She starts with "What fire is in mine ears?" And what I want you to notice straight away is her use of language. Why does she use the word fire? That to me suggests maybe embarrassment or anger or, I don't know, scorn. But what does fire in your ears make you think of, and how does it make you feel when you say it? It's really important with Beatrice to think about those things because she is quite evocative with her language. I actually have a coaching video where I break down this monologue with an actor and we talk a bit more about that stuff. So if you're a bit more advanced or if you want to do more of a deep dive, take a look at that after you've watched this video. So I'll link it for you in the description. So, "What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much?" Now, I really think what's key about this beginning bit is making it grounded. Don't get over the top with it because she does kind of go further as we go into the monologue. So you need to have a fairly grounded place to start. She's being reflective. Maybe she's angry, maybe she's embarrassed, but she's feeling a lot and she's thinking about whether it's true. I have seen people utilize the kind of the comedy angle of it where they're literally waiting for someone to tell them in the audience, is this right? Am I that bad? I think while you're probably not going to do that in an audition situation, what's useful about that is that probably in Shakespeare's day, they would have utilized that kind of moment with the audience or connection with the audience. So I want you to think about this being a genuine question, and you may want to think about speaking to an audience member. So before she goes on to the next line, she makes a decision. "Contempt, farewell, and maiden pride adieu." Now don't say adieu. They probably would not have said that in Shakespeare's day. It's usually kind of anglicized, and also you can hear that it rhymes with true. So just say adieu, okay? So show that before you even speak, you need to think and make the decision and then speak. "I'm leaving this behind," she's saying. "No glory lives behind the back of such." Again, why glory? Why did she choose the word glory? She could have said no happiness, no, no love, no romance, no friendship. She could have said anything, but she chose the word glory. I think it's a little bit of a character insight there. What is she looking for in this glory? You need to make a decision for yourself about what does that mean to her? Does that mean a happy ending? What does a happy ending mean to her? Sounds kind of rude. Again, another decision before she goes into the next line. And Benedict, love on, I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. So that's not just all tied in together, it's another decision. She firstly decided, I'm not going to be like that anymore. I'm going to treat people with more respect. I'm going to laugh at other people's jokes. I'm going to pay more attention to others and bring myself down a peg or two. And secondly, Benedict, you know what? I'm going to match you. If you love me, I love you. Taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. That's very interesting. Why did you choose hand, for example? So think about, what does her wild heart mean? Why does she think she's got a wild heart? Does she have a wild heart? Has she got a good glimpse of herself? And what is his loving hand? Why is it hand? You know, is it about comfort? Is it about attraction? Like, why did she say hand particularly? Now she goes a step further. Remember that each of these little couplets basically are kind of new decisions or adding on information. So you really need to make sure that you have a clear thought process here. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee. So she's saying, if this is true, I am going to be so kind to you that it's going to make you want to bind our loves up in a holy band. That means get married. So she's saying, I'm going to be so nice to this guy. He is going to want to marry me. Which I think, you know, played in Shakespeare's day, or if you're playing to an audience member, I think it's kind of funny. Like, she's like, I'm going to be so nice. He's not going to know what hit him. There's humor in this. Like, you can play the comedy and you can kind of decide where it lies. How funny do you want to be with this? For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly. Now, very interesting here, you have a bit of a decision to make, because having the I at the end of the line, in good Shakespeare technique, you either try and make the most of the end of the line, or you can have a very slight pause at the end of the line. There's different techniques that people use, but it's always good to ask, why is that word at the end of the line? Could I put a pause there or not? So if you were to put a pause after I think she would have to be making a decision. So other people say that you're worthwhile, and I believe it. Better than what they say. And again, interesting that she's I think she's still not quite grasped the concept of everything she's saying. She's kind of going, I'm going to bring myself down a peg or two, but still at the end she's saying better than reportingly, so better than what they said. I'm going to believe it. She still elevates herself. So again, a little bit of humor in that she's still putting herself on the top of the pile there. So hopefully that kind of broke down all the meanings for you. So I'm going to read it all together so you can hear how I would put it together. Different people do it differently, and this is the first time I have done this monologue, so let's see how we go. What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell, and maiden pride, adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedict, love on, I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly. That's one take on it. There are lots of versions out there on YouTube. There are some good ones and some not so good ones. I'm not gonna say which are which, but I would very much recommend that you look at a few and see what people do well versus what they're not doing so well, in your opinion, because you can actually learn a lot from that. And let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, let me know what else you want to see me break down and what you're struggling with Shakespeare. Join me on Instagram because I'm doing a lot of helpful Shakespearean acting tips on there at the moment. So Shakespeare with Sarah. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!